Greetings, everyone. This is Max Renette, a poetess. How are you doing? Welcome to Beyond the Surface of Podcasts. You know us. Over here, we dive deep into creativity, culture, and the human experience. Oh, man. Today, we're going to talk about something every creative soul can relate to: the art of staying creative when the world is chaotic. And before I even go any further, um, right now we're uh, experiencing Hurricane Melissa in Jamaica. Um, and I just want to send my prayers out to Jamaica and anyone else that's in the path of this storm, Melissa. Um, Prayers, Jamaica, prayers. We're praying for you up here in New York. We're praying for your mind. We're praying for your heart. Me, I tell you no. We're praying for you. Okay, we just want everybody to be safe and sound in the name of the Most High. Jaja. But as we go on, the art of staying creative in this mad world that we're living in. You know what? Let's be honest. Life can feel like a whirlwind, no pun intended. Between work, family, social media, bills, and everyday noise, we're not even going to mention what's going on in the country right now. Because, yeah, a lot of people may not be feeling too creative right now, especially when you're facing a lot of, difficult economic times right now. Times is hard out here. But that's even more time to tap into your creativity so you don't lose your sanity. But you know that little flame that makes us write, paint, sing, build, and dream? Yeah, that creativity, that's a divine force. It doesn't just disappear. It's still there, waiting for us to tap into it, reconnect. And sometimes it just needs a little quiet. Sometimes it may need a little chaos to fuel it. But one of the biggest things that I've learned as a poet, publisher, and a creative is this: inspiration doesn't always show up when life feels calm. Sometimes it's born right in the middle of the storm. When things get heavy, I write. When the world feels loud, I listen. I take a walk, sip some tea, do some deep breathing, cry if I have to. I meditate. I meditate a lot. And again, these are just things that work for me. If they work for you too, that's great. Find your thing. I'm not telling you this is what you should do. I'm just saying these are some of the things that I do and it works for me. And I pray a lot. A lot of people don't know that about me. A lot of people just don't really know me like that. They think you know me, but you don't. I'm a praying person. I've been praying as long as I've been alive. Oh yes. Oh yes. I've always been praying. As long as I've known myself, I've talked to the Most High. Let's see. I'm not like some. I've had a very, very rough life and upbringing. So I've always been praying. Okay. I pray through hell and high water. I pray through dysfunction to function. I pray through abuse. I mean, I've been praying since I could speak. Matter of fact, I think I was praying before that. Because trust me, yeah, I'm a praying woman. I'm a prayer, But yeah, it's all part of the process. It's all art. Ask yourself, how do you recharge your creative spirit? How do you boost your creative energy? Because people, we all have different ways of doing that. I mean, what works for me may not work for you. Maybe it's journaling or cooking or listening to music or watching the sunrise. It's just whatever it is. Protect that. Protect that ritual. Guard it like it's gold. You hear me? Guard it. Treasure that. Secure that. Make sure that's your stick. Don't make anybody come and take that from you, because it's important to protect your creative energy. Okay, and even if that means setting boundaries, because you can't pour from an empty cup. Sometimes you have to set yourself where you need to be so that your creativity keeps flowing. Now, those of us who are just naturally always creative, okay, and I can't say that for everybody. I have to take that back and just speak for myself, okay? Because, like I said, my creativity and your creativity are not the same. So we all have our different ways of being creative and how we get there, how we keep it, what inspires us, so forth and so forth and so forth. But it's important to focus on your creativity. What I mean by that, when you're feeling creative, give it its time that it needs. Give it that attention that it needs. If that means turning off your notifications, coming off social media, step away from the noise. Turn your phones off. Go into your quiet place. Yeah, we need that. And don't compare your journey to anyone else's highlight reel online. That's something like a lot of people do. Like, oh, this is what's going on in my life, but look over there. I'm doing this and they're doing it. Stop doing that. Don't compare yourself to other people. That everybody's walking their own journey and their own path. It's not wise to compare yourself to other people's stuff, and especially what's online. You know how much of the stuff online is a lie? You know how much of stuff online is made up? You know how much stuff online is pretend? I mean, come on, don't do it to yourself. And you know how much stuff online, you only see a certain side. You don't see everything. So a lot of times you're sitting up there and people will compare their life to this person and that person, their experience, and you don't know what hell these people are going through. But they're coming on social media with the biggest smile on their faces and acting like everything's great, and you'll believe it. And think, well, that person's always great. Why I can't? Don't do that to yourself. You have got to learn how to find your own joy and happiness and fuel your creativity and protect it. Because real creativity, it thrives in authenticity. Okay, you got to be authentic, and that's something only you can give the world. You can pretend it. That's what I'm saying. Everything you could be, pretending to be this, and authenticity is big. It's realness, people. Realness. Keep it real. There's so much fakeness in the world today. It's just scary. It is just so scary that people have forgotten how to be real, So if you're an artist, a poet, a business owner, remember, your creative energy is sacred. Okay? It is sacred. Feed it good things. If those who follow me, you're always hearing me say, speak life into your existence. Be good. Be good to yourself. Be good to other people. Put that positive energy out there. Put that positive vibe out there. Okay? It's important to feed your energy good things, peace, laughter, nature, good food, and people who pour into you, not drain you. So for example, okay, peace. I just said, find your peace. I can't tell you how vital and important and precious my peace is to me. I would rather not, but I will walk alone if it means I get to hold on to my peace. Because when there's no peace, there's pieces. You feel me? Yeah. Feed into your peace. Okay? Laughter. Now, you guys know me. I'm all, those who know. I'm talking to you now. I'm starting to laugh already. I'm a laughing person. I can't help it. I laugh even when people think I should. I don't know. I'm just that type of person. I try to find the joys in life. And I don't know, I've heard a rumor here and there that I have a sense of humor. Um, I'm funny. I can't say that I agree with that per se because I don't hear it. Maybe every once in a blue moon, I may say something. I go, "Oh, you know what? That's good. That's good." But I don't think that I'm funny. I I don't. I'm just being real. But yeah, I've had people tell me that I'm funny. I'm like, okay. I don't know if they're being serious or sarcastic, but all right. But laughter, you know what they say, that old adage, laughter is the best medicine. It's true, people. It is so true. Laugh, 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 laugh. You know, um, it's important. Laughter raises the serotonin levels in the brain and it makes you feel good. Laughter is contagious. You guys know that. Go somewhere and start laughing. People will start laughing with you, and they don't even know what is going on. They will automatically just start laughing with you. Especially the more you laugh, the more they laugh. People be falling out. What's so funny? The way and it's just laughter. But it's a beautiful thing. And nature, what? I tell you, I think it's my Jamaican blood. Even though I was born in Brooklyn, my Jamaican blood from my parents is, I have a thing for nature. I've always been that way. I remember before my mother passed, she said, I don't know where I get you from. She said, you're more Jamaican than my kids are born there. And she's referring to my sister Denden, and we have a brother. And he and my sister Denden were born in Jamaica. I was not. And my mother just couldn't get it. She never understood how my accent was better than theirs, and how I have such a thing for nature and flowers and water and the birds and all of it. My mother she used to just look at me and shake her head and just like, wow. And I remember one of the things she said to me before she died. She asked me, she said, where did I get you from? I was like, well, mommy, if you don't know, I can't tell you. But she just could not understand how come I had such a love for nature. I don't question it. I just full joy the moments, I'm a nature lover. I don't like the insects and the crawly, creepy things and things that bite and sting. I admit that. What was that song, Old Country? I don't like spiders or snakes, but that ain't what it takes to love me. If I want to be loved by you. Dun, 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 dun. I think that was Eddie Grant. Was it Eddie Grant? Because I think he also said, I love a rainy night. And I love a rainy night. You can see it in my eyes. So yeah, you see? The songs, nature. Coincidence? I think not. But nature is my thing. People think, you can think I was nuts. I really don't care. Why? Because I like grounding and I like hugging trees. And, I'm just that type of person. I like to live near water. I like to live near, the flowers. Like even right now where I am, that's why I chose to live up here. I've lived in Georgia. I've lived in Florida. Both, very beautiful states as far as nature is concerned. However, Florida was a little bit too much nature for me. Because when we got hit by Hurricane Ian, I wasn't loving nature at that moment. And went to Georgia and got hit by another hurricane. A tornado passed by the house. But yeah, I do love nature. Like where I am in Kingston, New York, right in my backyard is a bird sanctuary right there. Like you can't touch the animals. And after you pass the bird sanctuary, there's a creek right there, and there's a nice forest, and then you look, you can see the Sawkill Road mountain, and over that mountain is a huge forest. Like, it's just, my goodness, Yeah, sometimes I wonder one day something might come out of those bushes that I don't want to see. But I pray I'm not outside when that happens. Yes, yes, yes. But I'm a nature lover. I am. Nature is calming. There's something about um, the running of water, whether it be the shower, whether it be the sink, whether it's raining, whether it's a brook, a babbling brook, whether it's a waterfall, river, the ocean. The sound of water is just so soothing to me. It literally lulls me to sleep. I just can't. It's just it's intoxicating, you know. But yeah, I love it. It's something that I notice calms me down right away. Calms my body down immediately. My thoughts, my feelings, whatever's going on. Um, that's why I love living near water to a degree, you know. Um, but yeah, nature is awesome. And when I wake up in the morning, when the Most High Spirit life, and I get up in the mornings, I'm just caught up. I hear the birds singing. They're having a whole conversation. I have a few recordings of it. They're just having a whole twittering conversation out there, and I just love it. They're singing and twittering, and I just love it. I hear the crows out there. I hear. We have two owls out here. We have eagles, ravens. I mean, there's bluebirds, there's robins, there are cardinals. There's so many different types of birds, like hummingbirds. There's so many different type of birds out here. It's I just love it. And there's a wildlife out there. I love nature. Good food. Other than nature, I have no shame. I love me some good food. What? I'm Jamaican, baby. I love good food. One of the things being raised Jamaican with Jamaican parents, even in America, food. We had to learn how to cook at a very young age, and everybody had to know how to cook. There wasn't any kind of, only the girls cook. No, boys, girls, everybody had to learn how to cook. And it's a beautiful thing. I am so glad that I know how to cook because I love food and I love good food. So yeah, good food is always a beautiful thing. It's always awesome, And I said, with people that pour into you and not drain you. People, please. You want to kill your creativity? You want your creativity to die and commit suicide, or be stick around people who drain you, people who are negative and toxic. They will destroy your creativity. I call them energy vampires. Yeah, they will drain you. And I've seen it happen to many people. I've seen it. They've been drained, their creativity, they're around the wrong people, and I've seen people stop singing, stop writing, stop painting, stop doing whatever it is that they're creative with, because they just were around the wrong type of energy. And it really it was detrimental, So careful of the people that you pour your energy into, and make sure they're not draining you. Okay. I'm telling you. I just got slightly distracted. I've seen a news report there about Melissa. Jamaica's preparing for it, so it's kind of has me. Like I said, I have Jamaica in prayer, but I'm watching like many. I got my eyes open. But yeah, let's continue. Now inspiration is everywhere. I tell people, I say, if you're a creative, a real creative, you'll always be creating something. You'll always be inspired because it's everywhere in everything. And inspiration doesn't always come with fireworks. Sometimes it's in the smallest things, like a child's laughter, a song on the radio, the smell of rain, or even a quiet moment of reflection. You know what I mean? So you never know what is going to inspire you. I know personally, that's why every room, every area in my home, I have something where I can write. Because I never know. And that's why I have the type of phones that I have. I have to have a phone that has a stylus because I'm a writer. I'm a poet. I never know when something's going to inspire or trigger or fuel me to write a poem. And I have to be able to get it down immediately. Boom, 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 boom. I have to be able to write it down. I have to be able to jot that down real quick because I just never know. Sometimes it's not, I could be talking with someone and this has happened to many creatives. You're just having a conversation and then all of a sudden you're inspired to write something. Okay. Based on the conversation itself. Like, I have had conversations where I've had to say, oh, I'll call you back. I got to write a poem. Whoop, gone. Yeah. Just like that because it happens, so you just never know what's going to inspire you. So instead of chasing creativity, start noticing it. The world is always whispering ideas to us. The key is to slow down enough to hear them. There's always something creative there. Always, always. No matter what's going on, good, bad, and or the ugly, there's always something there creative. There's always something there, So, I just say, stay creative, even in the chaos, because creativity isn't just about art. It's about life. It's how we heal, how we connect, and literally how we make sense of everything around us. I could remember, and I'm going to share something personal. I try not to get too deep. Sometimes I do have personal moments on the podcast. But I could remember I fell in love with someone and he told me, he said, I didn't know what to do with myself. So he told me, write. He said, because he knows I'm a poet, he said, write. And that's what I did. And I can't tell you how many poems I've written. I've written enough poems that I can put it into a book. And I just might. You never know. Matter of fact, now that I think about it, you know what? I even got the title. You see, that's what I'm talking about. As we speak, I just got the title of the book. Yep. And I'm taking a moment to just write this down so that that's what I'm going to do with those poems. So, see, that's what I'm talking about. You just never know. And that's a creative, okay? We're always creating. No matter what's going on. And for the nosy people, yes, I fell in love. It happened. I'm still in love. I'm going to always be in love. I fall in love all the time. No, I don't. But, love is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And it's nice to write about it. It really, really is, But just as when I fall out of love, I write about that too. Oh yeah, that'll be in there. Because you got to mix it up. For me personally, yeah, I could write a book of just all love poems and blah blah blah. But you know what? It's for me that's not realistic, especially when there's two sides to every coin. You fall in love, you fall out of love, or you're in love and things don't turn out how the way you wish they did, or maybe you fell in love and things turned out great. Whatever it is, it's good to mix it up a little bit, keep people interested in reading, But yeah, it's a wonderful thing to just feed your creativity. Don't let it get stagnant, okay? Feed that baby, You get there and let it sit there like that. And remember, Creativity is humanity's algorithm. It's the pulse that keeps us evolving, loving, and understanding one another. So get creative. Even though I know it's listen, people, I'm about to wrap up in a few minutes. It's crazy out here right now. Times are very hard. And people are like, oh, look, I'm struggling. I don't feel like being creative. Trust me, be creative. Creativity is also one of the biggest stress relievers. You have somewhere to put that energy, those thoughts, especially if you're getting anxious about things, especially if you're fretting about things, especially if you can't even clear your mind so that you can have some clear thoughts, okay, or something that's conducive to your situation. It is best to have some type of creative outlet. Even to this day, and that's another reason why I publish coloring books. I love coloring books. I've loved coloring books ever since I was a kid. That was also something that I used to do with my children. That was our bonding thing. Everybody had coloring books, all the crayons and the markers and the highlighters and the colored pencils. And we would just sit, when my children were little, we'd all just sit there and just color. And it was just, that's one thing, a very precious moment that I remember, when all my children were little and we just all colored. It was just fun. It was just a beautiful moment. But I just always love coloring because coloring, it eases my brain and my mood, and it calms me. It soothes me in some kind of way. It's just the constant stroking and the back and forth and the sound of the crayon across the paper. And I'm talking to you and my eyes are closed and I'm just, my hands are going back and forth because and I'm smiling because I just love coloring. So, creating coloring books just seemed like something I should have been doing, So yeah, go on Amazon and look into my creative coloring books. It's called Color with Me. Okay, and just put in Color with Me, Cyber Clerical Associates, and it'll come up. Okay, but yeah, I just love coloring. It's my thing. It's very soothing, man. It's very soothing, and I have a thing for colors. Like, I like to see certain colors together, and I like the way certain things blend, and that's a Jamaican in me. Very colorful, but yeah, very color coordinated, but people, find what works for you, okay? And be creative. Tap into your creativity, especially now. Especially now. Things are just stressed out. Sing, okay? Even if you don't sound good, who cares? Sing anyway. Why not? Sing, make a joyful noise unto the Lord. Sing, okay? Just sing. What's that song? I sing because I'm happy. Y'all know that song, Eyes on Sparrow. I love that song. But I get off here, I'm gonna go sing it. See? And listen, I'm a very simplistic individual. I'm not fancy like that. I'm not rich monetarily speaking, but I'm rich in so much things. I'm rich in life. I'm rich in joy. I'm rich in love, and I'm rich with the Most High. And I love to laugh. I entertain myself. Trust me, I could sit here and laugh throughout this whole thing and just crack myself up. Yeah, why? Because I know how to create my own joy and happiness. If today's conversation touched your spirit, share it with someone who needs a little inspiration. And as always, stay kind. Please stay kind. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. Stay creative and stay connected. And like I always like to tell you, we're all in this thing called life together. Remember, Namaste and one love. This is Max Renette, a poetess, coming to you live from Kingston, New York. Be good, people. One love.